gonna make me lose. Tell me what you want, just pick and choose. Yeah, we feeling so good. Yeah, we feeling so good.
Alright, let's get started. Here is my cutout for this dress. Okay, so we're starting off by tracing the cutout right on the fabric. Make sure you fold your fabric in half and place the cutout on the fabric. Since we're doing a drooping neckline, make sure you leave some room at the top where the chest is going to be. Basically, just tilt your cutout a little bit like how I have it in the video. Next, just measure 2 centimeters from your original trace lines, and that's going to be your cut line. Before you start cutting, fold down at the first line that you made, and then just follow the second line to cut out the front piece. Once you got the front piece cut out, make sure you transfer the marking to the back side of the fabric. Moving on to the back side, you're going to do the same thing, trace following the cutout, and then make another outline, leaving 2 centimeters of space. Then cut that out and then transfer your marking. Next, we're going to cut out a piece for the strap. This doesn't have to be perfect, it just needs to be straight, about 4 centimeters by 40 centimeters. The last piece I'm cutting out here is for your chest area. The width just needs to be 4 centimeters and the length should be about the same size as your back piece. Okay, we're gonna start working on the back side first. Move to your serger and seal the fray edge at the top. Next, we're just going to sew a straight line at the top of the back piece. Make sure you change your sewing machine to have wider stitches. Once you get that line down, tug at the thread a little bit. This is just gonna help keep the fabric from getting stretched out while you're sewing. And then place that last piece that you cut out on top of it with the right side facing down. Use some ballpoint needles to pin it down and then sew straight across. You're going to need to sew 2 lines very close to each other and then just cut off the fray edges. Fold the extra flap that you have left with the right side facing up and grab your hand sew needle and just sew straight across. This is just gonna help temporarily hold it together, so it does not need to be perfect. Once that is done, fold that down one more time and then sew across again. Make sure you're covering that first line that you sew. You should have something like this by the end of it, and then go ahead and sew on top of it with the sewing machine. You can put that aside and we're going to move on to the front piece. Go ahead and fold right at the line that you traced a while ago. Then grab your needle and then hand sew straight across. This will help keep it in place while you're working on the strap. Cut the long piece that you made a while ago in half and then place it on top of the front piece like how I have it here. Use some ballpoint needle to hold it in place while you're sewing this. And you should end up with something like this, and then go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Now I'm snipping off the edge only around the armpit area for both sides. Now with the rest of the long piece, just fold it in half and then sew however thick you want your strap to be. Once that is done, just trim the extra pieces that you have left. Then use a safety pin to flip it inside out. Use your needle to hand sew the extra flap of the armpit area for both sides. Fold it in half once again and hand sew it down. Do that for both sides and then move on to your sewing machine and then sew that down. Next, just put the front piece and the back piece together with the right side facing inwards and then hand sew that sucker down. I always recommend hand sewing because when I'm working with stretchy fabrics, it just helps keeps the fabric together and help me keep sewing line matching with each other throughout my sewing. Once you get that done, go ahead and sew it down with your sewing machine. Then move to the serger and seal all of the loose flaps separately. Then go back to your sewing machine and sew another straight line on top of the original line. This will just help keep the dress secure. Then for the bottom, just fold up about 1 to 2 centimeters, whatever you prefer. Use some ballpoint needle to pin it down and then sew it in place. And voila, you're done. I think this is the easiest dress I've made. This week have been busy and hectic, so I went with an easy design this time. I hope this was a fun and quick project for you. I'm currently trying to master the drooping neckline, and I don't think I did that great of a job with this dress, to be honest, but I'm hoping to try this neckline again on a different fabric in a different video, so stay tuned.